There is a new tournament out, and I just got 80 million Traitless. You can see here, no traits, 80 million. So I'm gonna show you how I did it. But before that, at 36,000 subscribers, I'm gonna make a giveaway in my Discord server. So you join my Discord server and subscribe. And this is the team I'm using. The farms, double farm, Alucard with Z plus on everything, Shosu with Z plus on everything, and Toji with Z plus on everything. Sakura does not matter what you have on her, but I use Sakura as well. And if you want to know how to get Z plus on everything, then I have a video on that here. So I want to preface this by saying that Alucard is very good here because you get 20% more damage, and he is also unbound, which is the 75% damage buff here. Shosu is also really good because he synergizes very well with Alucard and also is unbound and just has bleed as well, so they stop regen, and the modifier is regen or something like that. I think it's regen. Fire units are good, but I think it might be better in traits than Traitless, because Traitless, Alucard and Shosu is really good. They're really strong together. Anyway, in the beginning, you want to farm and place down 2 Tojis. If you get bad RNG, you can't place down 2 Speedwagons like I did, so you just reset. Because the reason why you reset is because here, once Rui comes out, the first boss at wave 3, they will get stunned, and you need to sell and rebuy them a lot of times, and usually place down 2 of them. And here, even though Rui has 6,000 HP, you have to sell them, rebuy again. So you have to have a lot of money, so just reset if you don't get a lot of money. It's very money RNG. And I also placed down a Shosu here to kill bosses faster now, and now I balance farming and defense because yes, you could only farm, it's gonna skip very fast, but with just 1 or 2 Shosus and like 1 Alucard, you're gonna skip waves so much faster and it's gonna save so much time. My first attempt I got 74 million damage, and this attempt I got 80 million damage, and I skipped like 1 minute and 30 seconds faster. So what you want to do is just balance farming and balance defense, and wave 8 there's gonna come another Rui, so now this time instead of selling and rebuying, you have a Sakura up. And that's why my specific placements, I have a little hole where I can place Sakura. And in general, I have all my units at the front, so they can always insta-kill and hit as soon as they spawn out. This run wasn't my best start, honestly, because you saw there that Rui was alive and everything, but still was my best run overall, so I kept it. But you can definitely get like 85 million if you skip optimally, probably. I don't think 90 million is going to be possible, but you need to skip a lot faster. But here, after that Rui round, you can just place all your units and farm. At wave 13 is the next Rui round. That's why you don't need Sakura or anything. You just place down all units so they insta-kill. And now at wave 13, you want to have a Sakura ready. I was not ready. I didn't have it pre-placed, so I lost like half a second there. But yeah, the first units I upgrade after I max my farms are all my Alucards to full AoE. I don't care about upgrading further than full AoE, but full AoE. Because first of all, it's good damage, second of all, it's full AoE, so once Rui and those come out, they're always gonna hit every single enemy. So that's why. And then I also upgrade Tojis. I try to balance everything, so I upgrade every single unit, so Alucard, Shosus, and Tojis. A bit balanced because in the beginning, cost efficiency, upgrading the first 3 or 4 times on every unit is more cost efficient than upgrading 1 unit to max, because the damage just scales like that. So I try to upgrade as many units as possible rather than 1 unit, just to get as much DPS as possible. The reason why you want to get as much DPS as possible in the beginning is just to skip waves, and you want to always skip waves. This tournament, you can always skip every single wave faster in theory, so you want to continuously upgrade your defense and balance farming in the meanwhile, so you can insta-kill and farm at the same time, just so you can skip waves. After I've upgraded all my units to a decent amount, I upgrade 1 Toji to not max, but to the ability, so the Cursed Inventory. And this is because the ability makes him get 25% more boss damage, and all units here are bosses. So I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna get all my Tojis up to that upgrade, because 25% more boss damage with 20,000 damage base and 75% from Unbound, that's really good. That's so much damage, and that will be my main DPS for now, but Shosu's and Alucard's help, the bleed, prevents the regen. Alucard amplifies the damage without buffing Toji, so he doesn't lose his damage. And then, yeah, just get your damage up. And like I said before, I have Shosus and Alucard still upgraded quite a bit before I upgrade my Tojis. But yeah, now I upgrade Tojis. One thing to keep in mind is that I use Sakura ability not only when they are snared or something like that. Not only when Rui, just like now, snares, I'm not only using Sakura then. On the other bosses as well, they don't snare, but one boss stuns 1 or 2 enemies. I Sakura that as well. Just unstunning 1 or 2 enemies every single time that boss comes will save like 10 seconds, 20 seconds in general. Maybe not that much, but from that unit. So you can just get a bit more damage if you just use Sakura ability every time your unit gets stunned, affected in any negative way. If I see a damage loss, or if I see stun, or if I see snare, most of all snare, I use Sakura. You're gonna have enough money in the late game anyway, so that's why you don't care about it. You use Sakura as much as possible. And after I upgraded Toji, by the way, I try to get maxed Alucard to get the ability. The reason why I want the ability is because it starts scaling up my damage on Alucards. It can get 1.35x damage, I think, which is really good. That damage buff is going to help on Alucard. And while these enemies from the ability Alucard uses are active, you're going to get a 10% better SPA as well, I think. So you just rush that ability after it, and then you can max your Tojis, because Tojis are your main DPS right now, because they have the most damage, they are unbound, and they have that 25% extra boss damage. And after I upgrade one Alucard, I can just balance it out. I don't have a specific way to upgrade. Until now, I had. So basically first your Alucards to full AoE, then balance it out, and then max Tojis, then max one Alucard. But now I didn't really have an order. I just upgraded as I saw fit. So I just try to get everything maxed. I don't get my Shosus to full AoE because, as you can see, now I don't really one-shot the bosses. I need, well, now I do, but soon I won't one-shot the bosses. I will need to wait for a second attack for most units. And if you didn't know, Shoso, when he gets his full AoE, actually has like 50% worse SPA. So I'm gonna keep Shoso one upgrade away from full AoE, just to have his SPA as good as possible. Other than that, just upgrade as much as you can, get as much damage as possible, balance it out. You can max Alucards, you can max Shosos, your Tojis should also already be maxed. And now it's just, after this, you can't really save much time. It's mainly in the beginning. So that's my strategy. And now you just focus up by upgrading as much as possible, having your Alucard abilities, good timing on Sakura all the time. As soon as you get a debuff, just like that, use Sakura. As soon as just one unit gets stunned, use Sakura. And if they get snared, obviously be ready to use Sakura. Because you want to save as much time as possible. So just the moment they get snared, try the Sakura ability and sell it, buy it again, use the ability once they get snared again. If you don't know, you can actually sell the units by pressing X, and you can upgrade them by pressing T, which you can see in the GUI there. And then you can press, in my case, 6 to play Sakura as well. So you can micro very well, and that's really good. But other than that, just max all units and you should be fine. Here at around wave 71, there's gonna be a very long time where there will only spawn Rui bosses. So here you have to focus up a lot. Don't focus on anything else. You always have to be ready to use Sakura ability, sell her, buy her, upgrade her, and use Sakura ability. You always have to be ready for that. A snare will come every single second now, basically. You can see how often I need to use this, because every single wave, for like 8 waves in a row, there's gonna be a Rui boss. So, and each Rui boss stuns 3 or 4 times, because once he spawns his father or his mother, and maybe you don't kill him fast enough. So you just gotta be ready. And if you didn't skip as fast as I did, then you should have no problem doing this. You shouldn't die, you should have no problem, especially if you have good stats. If you have bad stats, maybe you've already died along the way, then you have to sell and stuff. I personally, this run, skipped too fast, and I also placed them a bit bad. In general, I do want them to be in the front in the beginning, but once I upgrade them, you can have good placements. But right now, I have really bad placements, so I actually will leak soon, which is not optimal, and I need to sell stuff, and Alucard gets less damage, but you should be fine as long as you always keep up your Sakura ability. I also didn't do that all the time. I was focused on other things as well at the same time. So here, wave 71 to wave 80, basically, just make sure to be focused and always have your full attention using Sakura ability. This is the only thing you need to do because you will have all your units max and you can't really buy anything more. And could you get away with one farm? Maybe, but the beginning will be much slower. Because if you get less money in the beginning, you can't skip as fast. But you will have another unit to max out. So maybe Rengoku. But I don't think the damage late game is gonna help as much as skipping waves in the early game will. So I think it's better to have double farm. But I haven't tested a lot. I've just been playing for like 2 hours. So I can't say much. But yeah, just continue Sakura. You can see how many waves. It's still going on with Rui bosses and Rui bosses every single wave. So just make sure to be ready to use Sakura and micro that very well. I have experience with tower defense battles, like Bloons tower defense battles. So I actually can micro pretty fast, even though it's on PC now with different hotkeys. But yeah, you should be able to do it fine if you're slow, as long as you have the reaction time to use the Sakura ability as soon as they get snared. You don't have to rebuy her very, very fast, as long as you buy her and have the ability ready before the next snare comes in. Not the end of the world if you don't. Here, I do leak, like I say, so I need to actually sell an Alucard and place him back there, and he gets snared, so I need to do it again and again. So, and I don't forget to never stop Sakura ability. And then I almost die, so I also tried to sell a Toji and buy a Toji at the back. So I waste a lot of money. I waste my damage buff from Alucard that he gets from the summons, so that's not good at all either. But now I've killed all the Rui waves. And yeah, you just have to kill these as fast as possible. Honestly, the wave skip will probably skip faster than you can kill at this point, unless you have like another unit, like Rengoku or something. So that's why it probably won't matter if you have another unit like Rengoku. Maybe you could skip slightly faster now, but probably double farm is better. But yeah, just try to kill everything. Here, another Rui boss is actually. And now, if there's only a single enemy, a single boss, then your damage will be pretty low. It's only 1.6 million damage you can get from, like, 1.5 million damage you can get if it's a single boss. While Rui boss can get, like, that times 3 or maybe times 2 per wave. So you want to skip so much that you get to another Rui boss. Once, my first attempt was 74 million. My second attempt skipped 30 seconds faster, but I only got 75 million. Because I didn't get a new Rui boss. The wave skips took 5 seconds each, and then I only got 1.6 million damage more for one wave, and took 20 seconds for me to kill it, so those 30 seconds only got me one more boss, which was a solo boss for like 1 million damage. So what you want to do is skip as much as possible in the beginning, so you can get as many Rui bosses as possible. Yes, Rui bosses are the hardest ones, but that's also the best, because you can get as much damage as possible. And as long as you keep your Sakura on point, you can always do it as fast as possible, and you won't lose damage. So here, I just pray that I skipped fast enough. I haven't done much traits either. I've done 1 attempt traits, so I don't know which bosses come which waves. I just know about here. I've already lost in the other runs I've done, so this is my record. I skipped like 1 minute faster than my 75 million run. But that comes to perspective. I skipped 1 minute and 30 seconds faster than my first run, which was 74 million. 1 minute and 30 seconds faster was only 6 million more, because most of these bosses, as you can see now, they're single bosses. This is Kyogan, I think his name is Kyogan or something, I don't know. A long time ago since I watched Demon Slayer. But you can see, every single boss here is just single, so you don't get a lot of damage. So to get a lot of more damage, you need to skip even faster, like drastically bit faster, to get another Rui boss, to get a big damage buff. Here I barely get the wave skipping, and here is another single boss, so I have to skip like 20 seconds faster to get another wave and maybe get Rui. I'm not even sure if Rui is there, but yeah, it was 80 million. I can definitely get more. 85 million in my sights, 90 million maybe possible, but for now I'm first by a long shot, so I'm happy with that.